Hello. I just want to take a few minutes to talk about the drastic overtime cuts that happened in March within the Winnebago County Sheriff's Office and provide some facts and the reason why it happened, the truths behind why it happened, not speculation of the reason why it being cut was because Gary Caruana is paranoid because of all the Freedom of Information Act requests that I've been filing and receiving information, and he's afraid that I'm going to reveal a lot of the shortcomings. That is partially true, but that's not the reason for the overtime cuts. As I've already talked about in the past, what to expect from Gary Caruana and Rick Saganek in the next 18 months, when I bring facts to the public's knowledge of the mismanagement of the Sheriff's Office, one of three things are going to happen. Gary and Rick will try to cover up the facts. Number two, they will flat out ignore the facts like nothing happens. Or three, they will try to fix the shortcomings that are publicly revealed. Whatever step is taken by Gary and Rick is insincere, since their shortcomings have been here since Gary has taken office and since he's been sheriff, and will only attempt to do something about the shortcomings once the truth is revealed to the public. Here's the truth that prompted the overtime reduction in the Sheriff's Office. It was because of a regular update by the Finance Committee at a Finance Committee meeting on March 6th by the Winnebago County Chief Financial Officer, the CFO. He identified overtime in the Sheriff's Office as an area of concern, noting that it was trending very high, and if the trend continues, the sheriff's overtime budget is going to significantly be over budget. This was a regular meeting that happens on a regular basis. If Gary would attend these meetings, he would understand this. Consequently, the county administrators met with the sheriff's office to discuss the overtime budget and kind of let them know, which led to the substantial reductions. As a result, some of the corrections officers and the jail staff are concerned for their safety and the security of the jail, because combined with the overtime cut, they're severely understaffed. So this situation highlights issues within the mismanagement of the sheriff's office. It is important for leadership to have a comprehensive understanding of law enforcement operations that they're in charge of to effectively manage their resources and personnel. Since Gary's been in office, he has a history of mismanaging the budget and has even sued the county because he did not feel the need to comply with staying within the budget that the county authorized. There will be much more discussion about the budget and mismanagement by Gary Caruana and Rick Saganek. There's a lot to talk about, so we'll talk about that in the future. I do want to take just a quick couple of minutes here and talk about the overtime budget. And what I did, I compared the budget. I went back to 2020 to 2025 fiscal years and looked at the overtime budget for the Corrections Bureau and the law enforcement side. This is what I found. In 2020 through 2023, the authorized budget for the Corrections Bureau was $489,191. In 2020, fiscal year 2020, the actual overtime budget in the jail spent was $892,000, $318.35. Significantly over budget. In 2021, it was $798,615.78. Again, significantly over budget. In 2022, the actual overtime spent in the jail was $1,245,588.96. That is just astonishing. It's almost 3 times the budget. 2023, the actual spent was $1,528,629.38. Wow. 2024 and 2025 fiscal year, the county authorized $500,446 for the overtime budget in the jail for each year. As of August 6th of 2024, because I don't have the final numbers, but we will get those soon, the actual spent in overtime for the jail is $1,560,758.72. It's projected that the final will be $1,942,563. When I get the new numbers, we'll update those. And I have no idea what's been spent in 2025 because I don't have those numbers. So let's talk about the law enforcement side. This does not include the 911 budget. In 2020, law enforcement was budgeted $809,707. Actual spent was $983,076.48. In 2021, they were budgeted $811,914. They overspent that budget it was $997,713.20. In 2022, the authorized budget was $826,071. They overspent that it was $1,312,405.44. In 2023, the overtime budget was again $826,070. That was overspent again. It's $1,391,443. In 2024, it was authorized budget was $1,119,872. And I don't have the final numbers, but as of August 6th, $1,164,772 was spent, and it was projected that the law enforcement budget was going to be at $1,479,081 for fiscal 2024. And in 2025, they were authorized $1,209,772, not 772, but $72. I have no idea what's been spent. We'll update those numbers when I get them. But this is astonishing. Look at the mismanagement of the office because of lack of knowledge of your operation. That's just absolutely astonishing. So what I want to point out, and we're going to talk about a lot more wasteful spending within the sheriff's budget, managed by Rick Saganek and Gary Caruana. And I think the public should take notice of this. One of the things that I'm going to do is restore the financial integrity of the sheriff's office. Stay tuned for further discussion on the budget. Thank you for listening, and have a great week.